Well, welcome everybody. This is Kathy Roth UK, the CEO of Blue Star Families. Welcome to our second week of the government shutdown. Together with the White Oak Collaborative and our many partners here on this call, we are here to help military families, veterans, those who support them, find the resources they need to deal with the challenging times that we're seeing today. We're so glad that you're joining us today. We are recording this session, so we urge you to come back and listen to it again, to share it with your friends and your colleagues. Please send us questions. Let us know the challenges that you're having so we can help you respond. And in the coming days, if the challenges persist, we'll be launching future pulse polls to understand what kind of support you need when first. This whole community is here for you. Thanks for being with us. Jenny, over to you.
Thanks so much, Kathy. And it's nice to see everyone today. Thank you for making time. I wish this wasn't necessarily the way we had to meet, but I'm glad to meet all of you. I'm Jenny Aiken with Blue Star Families, and I'll help moderate today's call. So we've lined up a fantastic group of resources for you all, and we are going to move through them pretty quickly. We do have the ability for you to submit questions through the chat. If we have time at the end, I'll get to them. I will say if you submitted questions as part of the registration, we did share those with our panelists and asked them to consider them when making their remarks. Most of you we know are looking for financial assistance, food resources, and things to do with your family that don't cost money right now. So we've lined up a great partnerships for that as well. Sierra, if you could start sharing slides, we will move in first. It is my absolute honor to introduce you all to Amy George. She's the Senior Vice President of Military Services with the Armed Services YMCA. Over to you, Amy.
Hi, everybody. So it's so great to be here. It's an honor for the Armed Services YMCA to be part of this, and our honor to serve and support military families during this time. So we do provide food assistance, no-cost food assistance and other basic needs at our 12 physical branches that are in 10 states across the country, including Alaska and Hawaii. Now, every one of our branches look a little bit different. The footprint in our communities look a little bit different. So it's really important that you visit our website at asymca.org/locations so that you can find the one that serves maybe the military installation in your neighborhood. We do provide food assistance to anyone that would like it. However, some of our locations are on a military installation, and therefore you would need a military ID or a guest access to access that installation. And some locations, we have a footprint in the community in which we would provide food assistance for active duty military families, veteran families, and even civilian families if they showed up. Or we believe food is a basic right, a human right, and so we would never turn anyone away. But by and large, the majority are for junior enlisted personnel and additional active duty and veteran households as resources are available. So again, please go to our locations page and find the one nearest you. And the last point I'll make is that because we're part of the larger YMCA movement, that if there's not an armed services YMCA in your backyard, there might be your local YMCA might be also have food support services as well. Many of them run no-cost food programs for their community. And so I would encourage you to check that out as well. And I think with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Amy. And
Absolutely.
I will also share, we will be sharing additional resources through various outlets. Many of them are food related. And as Amy mentioned, so many of them are going to be community based. So you'll get a handful more during this call, but you will also get some as part of follow-up. I am next excited to pass it over. So if I can get the next slide, please. Thank you so much. We're joined today by Gracie Bruhl. She's a Senior Vice President of housing and critical financial assistance at Operation Homefront. Oh, we may not have Gracie yet. We might have to come back to Gracie. So on that note, let's go to the next slide, please, and we can back up once we have her on. Fantastic. Do we have AER on? We were also struggling to get AER on as well. We'll back up to some of these as soon as we can get our presenters on. Can you please go to the next slide here? Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Brooke. And we appreciate all of you. We are being just as flexible right now as many of you are. We're joined today by Rear Admiral Dawn Cutler. She's the Executive Vice President and COO of Navy Marine Corps Relief Society. Dawn, over to you.
Hi, Jenny. Thanks so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here to share resources and talk about the challenges that our military families are going through. So we provide financial assistance in the form of zero interest loans and grants. All of our programs are in person and confidential, meaning we do not contact a command unless the service member has approved that. And we also provide supporting resources to help build financial stability and well-being, such as our Budget for Baby workshops, our visiting nurses, and we have other local resource referrals. Many of our offices are located on Navy and Marine Corps bases, often at the Fleet and Family Service Center or the Marine Corps Community Services building. And so we partner with them to help families when they're coming through with a need. You can see our eligibility requirements there. Like most of the military aid societies, active or retired, eligible family members, surviving spouses and dependent children, and reservists who are on active duty orders for more than 30 days. Can we just go to the next slide? I just wanted to share with the group what we have seen over this past 7 to 10 days. Our client interaction increased threefold, particularly last week and toward the end of last week. The fear of a payless payday was very real. Our clients were coming in very anxious, very concerned about what they were going to do to put food on the table, get to work, pay for childcare, keep the lights on. As we were developing our policy and procedures for how we were going to help, assuming that we'd had folks lined up out the door, we made an assumption that most of our clients would have payday protection from their financial institution. And we learned come Wednesday, Thursday of last week, that was not the case. Many of them had been rejected for a variety of reasons. And so the need and the anxiety was increasing. And so what we did was last Friday, we activated our disaster assistance mode. What that means is we extend our hours, we reshuffle our volunteers and our employees. We suspended non-emergency services and we focused on basic living expenses, that food, utilities, childcare, transportation. So we switched into that mode, and from October 10th, last Friday, to October 14th, yesterday, we provided $2,000 bridge loans to 268 clients for a total of $328,000 in bridge loans, just to help folks who were without funds. And a couple of things that this validated was, number one, we cannot assume that basic financial education is there with our clients. We cannot assume that they can wait until the 15th, the actual technical payday, when many of the banking facilities, again, they pay a couple of days earlier than the 1st and the 15th. And many of our families count on that money being in the bank to be able to put those basic living needs together for their family. So we're happy that payday seems to have happened for most of our clients right now, but we're not out of the woods yet. We're going to see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But one thing we're watching is some of the second and third order effects. For example, for those local offices the services that process entitlements like BAH. Often those are run by civilians and they've been furloughed. So we're finding that entitlements that should have kicked in on the 1st are not being received, but yet that allotment is coming out of the checks. So we're still seeing some deficit and some challenges out there. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Dawn. And we do have our other panelists here. So as our slide turner is going back to Operation Homefront, I do want to share some guidance that we have from our friends over at the Office of Military, Community, and Family Policy. If you or someone you're working with is experiencing either not receiving the correct amount of pay, whether that's too much or too little, they are encouraging people to engage directly with their unit admin and pay office to seek a resolution for that. So if you can help spread the word to really just start at the unit level, that would be great. And Brooke, if we can get back to Operation Homefront on the slides, that would be great. Fantastic. And on that note, Gracie, I see you here and I am happy to tag you in to talk about the great work you're doing at Operation Homefront. Oh, Gracie, you're on mute.
I apologize. We have been having some technical challenges, so I do apologize for being a little late jumping on. And before I get started, I just want to thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to join and kind of talk about some of the things that we're doing at Operation Homefront to help our military families. You're looking at the slide now, but my name is Grace Sproul. I've been with Operation Homefront for 17 years now. In my role, I oversee our housing programs and more recently, our critical financial assistance programs, which is one that I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about today. Sorry, y'all. I had to pop up. Through our critical financial assistance program, we fulfill the ongoing need for the families we serve. Critical financial assistance program is designed to provide short-term financial help for military families experiencing financial hardship and serves active duty, enlisted, deployed, and wounded, ill, or injured service members. To date, we have fulfilled nearly 60,000 requests for help, providing more than $46 million in assistance through our CFA program. While CFA may be one of our key programs, we also have 4 different rent-free and mortgage-free housing programs, along with recurring support programs that offer back-to-school supplies, holiday meals, baby showers throughout the year. One of those things that I really want to bring to everyone's attention is that the holiday meals is coming up. So you'll see, we have the QR code that y'all can scan and get more information on that as well. Slide 2, if you want to go ahead and move on, talks a little bit more about Operation Homefront being a national nonprofit whose mission is to build strong, stable, secure military families so we can thrive, not struggle to get by in the communities we work so hard to protect. We were founded in 2002, right after September 11th, to support families struggling to make ends meet while their loved ones were deployed. Since then, we've grown into a trusted and respected organization that serves thousands of military families each year. In fact, 83% of our expenditures go directly to delivering impactful programs. Go on to the next slide, please. I know I've touched on critical financial assistance already, which helps our military families overcome those short-term challenges. We are seeing right now a growing need of 39% increase in overall requests and more than 57% increase in food assistance requests. That's even before the word of the shutdown came in. The cornerstone of Operation Homefront's mission is to help military families who may be facing a short-term financial crisis. So through our critical financial assistance program, we're already positioned to be a powerful resource for military families as they navigate financial insecurity. And then on the next slide, it'll just tell you a little bit more and show you how that you can go online and go ahead and apply and click on Get Help Now. And you'll see all of our programs, not just critical financial assistance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gracie. And I want to encourage, as we go to the next slide and get ready to backtrack to AER, continue sending your questions in the chat. If our panelists can't answer them either directly through the chat, we will follow up with answers there, and also share your stories. And if you are willing to share those stories, either to the departments you're affected by or with the press, please let us know, because we definitely want to amplify those as well. On that note, I'm very happy to introduce you to Army Emergency Relief Society's Brandon Robbins. He's the Chief Operating Officer over there. Over to you, Brandon.
Good afternoon, Jenny. Thank you so much for getting me pulled into this quickly. I just have to echo many comments that the Navy Marine Corps, Don Cutler made. The things that we have learned here in the last week, I think they're going to help us position ourselves in challenging some of our assumptions and being more ready to support soldiers and their families in an event that was unique and separated a bit from what we thought would happen. But our mission set, our bread and butter, is about being there during those times of emergency. We center around grants and zero interest loans. We also have a scholarship program for spouses and dependent children. Our 5 areas of support are identified there in the black and gold circles. And as you look left to right, they run the spectrum of those basic needs, what soldiers' families would need during specific times. And as you move across care during crisis, health and wellness, supporting families, and workforce development, we have a series of online applications that soldiers or their family members can fill out from anywhere around the globe. In conjunction with that, part of the Army's Installation Management Command, our teammates from every AER section at 68 locations around the world, they are critical to our operational reach, and soldiers have the ability to go in, get face-to-face, talk with a certified financial planner, and gain additional knowledge on seeing themselves and where they can improve their financial posture and stability. I just want to amplify again what Dawn said. We took a new approach as the impacts of lack of appropriations got closer. We created a new online application last Tuesday and released it on the 8th of October. To basically, our goal was to do as much as we could to cover the mid-month pay of every soldier that needed it. And in about, we really slowed down on Sunday into Monday once that solution started to formulate. But we have almost 15,000 applications and almost a little over $26 million that we were getting in position to disperse those funds if needed. As Dawn said, we're going, of those 15,000 applications, about 7,000 of them are ready to disperse. We're just holding those in an inactive status. But we've got about 5,000 soldiers that haven't completed their application or they needed their chain of commands approval. So we're continuing to work towards that because we just don't know what's going to happen on the next pay period. But it's been a learning experience. Our eligibility requirements are very similar to Navy Marine Corps. My boss, Tony Grinston, the CEO, wanted me to amplify in 2026. We're going to start a tailored pilot program for U.S. Army Reserve, really looking at 3 needs, really in basic needs and housing, but food, utilities, and vehicle repairs. We're going to start with grants. It's going to be very limited, but we're going to try to expand that through 2026. And how can Army Emergency Relief be prepared to help all soldiers, regardless of their status? Jenny, I know I went a little long, a little amped up, but this has been a heck of a week, and I'm just pending any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brandon. And as we go to the next slide, I just really want to foot stomp that so many of the individuals that you're hearing from here today are living it, have lived it. Their staff are experiencing this as well. And they're not just losing sleep because of the prospective lost paycheck, but also they are staying up late, working around the clock to try to help all of you and help our community. On that note, over to the Air Force Aid Society, Chris McBride, Chief Operating Officer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jenny. It's good to be here, and thank you and Blue Star Families for hosting this event. I have very similar comments to my colleagues, both at Navy Marine Corps Relief Society and Army Relief Society. The Air Force Aid Society, we stand ready to support airmen guardians and their families when they need it most. And right now, there hasn't been a more crucial time than they need us. Our efforts, understandably, have been focused on the delay in pay, but I want to emphasize that all of our regular financial assistance programs remain available for airmen, guardians, and their families. In preparation for the expected delay in pay, we began processing applications late last Thursday through our online portal system. Eligible members could request a no interest loan equal to their mid-month pay. Command involvement was not included. And by Saturday evening, we had processed over 500 applications and dispersed a little over $1 million. Based off the news and the direction that service members were going to get paid on time, we did pause processing applications for active duty members, and we are still processing applications though for traditional guard and reserve as well as retirees. So we're still accepting those applications. Beyond shutdown kind of related support, we are providing assistance in critical areas such as food, housing, emergency travel, and childcare, just to name a few. Our team is working around the clock. Unlike our sister relief societies, we do not actually have Air Force Aid Society volunteers or employees at installations. So our team is a centralized team. All of our applications are through our online portal, and we are taking calls and processing applications as quickly as possible. Again, our team, just like our other relief societies, committed to ensuring we're available and processing as quickly as possible. As we continue to kind of monitor the situation, I encourage leaders, spouses, command teams, community partners to share Air Force Aid Society resources. All of the information is on our website and can be accessed through the QR code on our slide. That is where you can find all of our most up-to-date information. With that, I will pause and turn it back over to you, Jenny.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Chris, for sharing that. As we go to the next slide, I just want to take a moment to say, the relief societies have been really leaned on hard, but I think many of us knew that the Coast Guard really was up in the air for a much longer period of time. 24 hours the past week feels like a lot. So we're really, really happy to have Valerie joining us today. She is the Volunteer and Outreach Coordinator over at Coast Guard Mutual Assistance.
Hi, Jenny. Yes, you stole my thunder there a little bit. We are a unique organization and we serve a unique community. My name is Valerie Stanley with Coast Guard Mutual Assistance, and we serve the Coast Guard community, not just active duty, but we serve reservists, retirees. We serve civilian employees, so they are currently being affected by the pay stoppage. So we are happy to serve this community. I'll just share a little bit about our organization. We have been in existence for 100 years, and like the other sister aid organizations, we are the official aid organization of our branch, the Coast Guard. So we serve all of those communities, including surviving spouses and even Coast Guard auxiliarists, who are a volunteer team that support the Coast Guard. So we serve in a variety of ways. Where the Army had, I think it was 5 circles, gold and black, of help, we like to refer to our service as 3 buckets of money. And who doesn't like a bucket of money every now and then, especially when there is pay uncertainty? So our 3 buckets are disaster assistance, day-to-day support, and education assistance. And I'll just say right up front, because our coasties, active duty coasties, are getting paid, we have not suspended our other programs. We currently have them open. And our disaster assistance is just that, disaster assistance. So if coasties experience natural disasters or even personal disasters and need assistance with funerals or home repairs, that sort of thing, we are still on target for that. We want to make sure coasties have all the needs that they need: all food, shelter, clothing, utilities, transportation, all those things that make coasties successful at doing their job. So that's what we still currently have open, along with disaster assistance and specific needs like that. We also assist with transitions and moves and family support, special needs children. And then our third bucket is education assistance. So those are our 3 buckets. We want to make sure that coasties know that we're still open for those. The main types of assistance we offer are 0% interest loans, like all the other sister aid organizations, grants, which is free money, and then resources. So that's referral to some of our other programs, whether it's domestic violence or family building. We're unique that we offer some assistance for those families that are trying to build through in vitro fertilization or other approaches. So that's how we help out with that. What makes our services unique is we are extremely flexible. A lot of our programs aren't real cookie cutter. If there is a true need, we're there for them. Okay, so just ask. And it's super simple to apply. Our application is online, and I just want to say mycgma.org. mycgma.org. Get any question answered. We're a lean organization of 16 employees, and we serve a community over 130,000. So we just want to make sure that coasties know that we're there for them every day, and that doesn't stop. Last time there was a government shutdown in 2019, sorry. The coasties did not get paid, and we did $8.5 million in 34 days to our coastie community, and we're prepared to do similar. What we're prepared to do right now with this current government shutdown is 1 month's BAH for the location and the grade that the coastie is in, or the equivalent of that for civilian employees. So I'll wrap it up and just say thank you for the opportunity to share with our coastie community, because it's vital and it's important, and I do appreciate it. And we are available anytime for questions. mycgma.org. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Valerie. And kind of as we transition slides, I want to make a couple of comments. One is that if you have friends who would benefit from the resources you're sharing today or you're seeing today, even if, maybe you have a coastie friend. I was an Army family. I would absolutely be sharing this information with them as well. I'm also going to take a moment to encourage the panelists to please look at the chat and the Q&A section. If you have an answer, please feel free to go ahead and type it into the chat. And then that way, if we don't get to it, when we get to Q&A at the end, we will have at least addressed some of those issues. On that note, several have already referenced going to your banks for support. We do have 2 banks, kind of financial institutions joining us today. If you are not a member of one of these financial institutions, it is also worth asking your institution if they offer similar programs. So on that note, JJ, over to you. Thank you so much for being here.
All right. Thanks, Jenny. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having USA here. I've been at USA for 23 years. And currently I'm the financial advice director on our military affairs team. But there's been a few times throughout the years that I've really felt like, wow, that's good. That's good stuff. And this is one of those. When we rolled out our loan program last week on the 8th, it's been amazing. So we've issued $263 million of loans to over 70,000 members. And the details of that are on the slide, so you can take a look at that. Although it's not been perfect, there have been a few hiccups. So if you're out there and you're wondering, hey, why didn't that happen for me? Don't hesitate to give us a call and check back in on that. But the other thing that's not on the slide is the fact that we've also approved tens of thousands of payment deferrals, changing payment dates, deferring them. So if you need somebody to work, payment relief is what I would call it for members. So don't hesitate to reach out. And I think the biggest thing across the board here is you're hearing from great resources. Is none of those resources happen unless you raise your hand and say, hey, I need the help, or you ask the question. And so please don't hesitate to do that. You can learn more about our program at usa.com/relief. From a financial planner's perspective, I would just say, as you've heard here over and over again, we're not out of the woods yet. So don't let your guard down. Those loans that we issued, they don't have to be paid back for 60 to 90 days. And if it was me, I'd have that money sitting in my savings account, waiting to make sure we get to the other side of this. So usa.com/relief. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. And we are proud to be here. Thank you, Blue Star Families, for putting this together and connecting the military community with important resources, because we're part of that, but we're only one part of it. And there's a lot of great organizations here doing great work. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We just couldn't be here if we weren't all a big community, all pulling in the same direction. So thank you for joining us here. And for those of you who missed it, because you kind of buried the lead there, but if you were one of the families who feel, you didn't get your loan approved, there were some glitches, and to call. Did I hear that correctly? Pick up the phone and call USAA?
Yeah, definitely do that. And again, I think as the process has developed, we've continued to look at it with the goal of bringing as many members as we can under the umbrella and taking care of them. And so don't take that initial no as a final answer.
Thanks so much. And we just appreciate, as we move to the next slide, just the grace in our community for all of us trying to adapt on the fly, as you've witnessed technical glitches, here today. So on that note, over to Sarah Roeder. Sarah is joining us from the Armed Forces Mutual. She's the Director of Partnerships and Member Engagement.
Hi, thank you so much for the opportunity today. And I am Sarah Roeder. I'm the Director of Partnership and Member Engagement here at Armed Forces Mutual. I'm also a military spouse, and this is my third government shutdown as a military spouse that I have experienced. What you see here on the screen is a QR code to our financial readiness resource page. If you scan that, there is a whole lot of information linking and connecting to other organizations that you've heard to today, other people that are there to support through a crisis like this. But if you go to the very bottom, what you will see is a budgeting worksheet. I highlight that because, as many have echoed, we are not out of the woods, and sometimes it takes a minute to sit down to look at if money is coming in or isn't coming in. What do I need to pay, and how do I prioritize that and get that paid? What are the agencies that I can reach out to cover things like a mortgage or a car note or things of that nature? So there is a very handy interactive budgeting worksheet at the end of this that can be very helpful in trying to look forward and plan for a little bit of the unexpected. Next slide, please. Here is financial readiness, where we look at protection, education, and benefits. There's a lot of information on this slide, more than I probably usually would put, but I wanted to get this out there. There were a lot of questions that had been posed about loans, about debts, and working with agencies like that. It's really important to educate yourself with the Service Members Civil Relief Act. Make sure you know what that means, know the amount of interest that people can charge you, things of that nature. It's a really important thing that is there to protect our military. Unfortunately, in times like this, there are people that try and take advantage of our community. There are scams out there that become higher, quick jobs, make money fast things. And so these are just things we want to educate our community about and hopefully reach out to. Same thing, the budgeting workshops and worksheets and healthcare flexible spending accounts. Right now, we've been talking to people that have set up their healthcare flexible spending accounts, and they are going on to Amazon, and on Amazon, you can actually see what is HFSA approved, and you can purchase things under those accounts as a bit of a stopgap. Next slide, please. And this right here is something that we offer at Armed Forces Mutual. It is a career assistance loan. It's a $5,000 loan. It is available. It's tied to a life insurance product. So we look at this as it's a long-term solution with a short-term need that's there. This is something that if it's, makes sense for you and your family, that's great. It's another avenue that is there. Please reach out to us and see if that's something that might be beneficial to you. Again, though, this is not an immediate relief. We, as Armed Forces Mutual, partner with all the relief agencies and those who are in crisis of needing to cover something in the immediate 24, 48 hours. The amazing relief societies are there to help that, but this is another avenue that does have a long-term benefit with a short-term need as well. So I just want to say thank you all to Blue Star Families for putting this together and making sure we're getting this resource and information out there.
Thanks so much, Sarah. And you really highlighted the power of partnership, and that's why I'm really excited to bring Cohen Veterans Network. I've seen a handful of questions in the chat asking about available mental health resources, and you guys, this is a big one. So on that note, it is my absolute honor to introduce you to retired Brigadier General Michael Fleming. He's the Senior Manager of Community Relations over at Cohen Veterans Network. Sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, Jenny, and really appreciate the opportunity to talk to this great group. Cohen Veterans Network provides outpatient mental health care for active duty members with a TRICARE referral, active duty families, National Guard and Reserve families, National Guard and Reserve personnel, and veterans. So if you go to the next slide, Jenny. This is where we're located. You can see where we are physically there. We've got most military installations there. Some of the ones like South Carolina where we have telehealth only, but we can work either out of our Hinesville, Georgia clinic or one of the other clinics. And the next slide outlines what we do. We have individual counseling, we have marriage counseling, we have family counseling. It's whatever works best for you. You see some of the things there that we do, and some of the things that make us unique is we believe there should be no barriers to care. While we will ask during the intake process, we ask about finances or insurance. If you cannot afford the care, or maybe you cannot afford the copays, we can waive those fees. So we don't use the word free purposely because we ask about insurance, but it can end up being at no cost. I want to stress that to you. And then the other aspect is we let the clients define his or her family. So it doesn't have to be blood relatives for us to look at that as a client. If you have someone who is a great supporter of yours, could be your family members, could be a neighbor who you feel like is being affected, then if you say that individual is part of my family, they become eligible for all care there. And so we have military families that we take care of. And as I said, it's both for active duty members. You have to have a TRICARE referral for the actual active duty member, but for like marriage counseling or anything like that with active duty members, doesn't require TRICARE referral. No military families require a TRICARE referral. And with a Guard and Reserve, having served as a Guardsman and Reservist for many years, we are there for you. We understand the challenges you're facing as a Guardsman and Reservist. So Jenny, we appreciate the opportunity to talk, and we are ready to support the members who need their support.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Mike. And as we move to the next slide, the Cohen Veterans Network is wonderful. They're in so many locations. The more important thing that I've found is that they're also culturally competent. They understand military life. The counselors are trained for that. They can help, as you're prepping for a deployment, in addition to the stress of a government shutdown, or just the stress of military life in general. So please don't be afraid to reach out and get help. On that note, we also know that our caregiver population has some special and unique needs. And I was thrilled to see an email come through today that the Elizabeth Dole Foundation is standing up this new critical financial assistance program. So I'm just really excited to be joined today by Meredith Beck, Vice President of Government Affairs and Community.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And I'm really honored to actually follow right after the Cohen Network. We had the honor of being able to visit one of their locations in San Antonio, and we're really pleased with the services that were being provided and the willingness to recognize any family member that was identified by the veteran or service member. So I'm really glad they were able to join today with the support that they can offer. We support the 14 million military and veteran caregivers across this country who may unfortunately not self-identify. So we want to emphasize that we are supporting caregivers for a population that on the active duty side often don't even realize that they are caregivers, and providing that family support, that emotional support that's often necessary to deal with multiple moves, deployments, and otherwise. So we want to make sure that we emphasize that. We very recently have updated our intake form that is available through this QR code, and that takes about 7 to 10 minutes to complete. And it is to provide emergency financial assistance primarily here for the purposes of this conversation, but it also then makes you eligible for not only our own mental wellness programs that include workshops, as well as care groups that focus on specific areas, including those caring for individuals with PTSD, those caring for those over the age of 60, those caring for those under the age of 60, and then honestly one that supports those who are divorced or separated, just recognizing the nature of some of these caregiving roles. For the eligibility purposes, we were very blessed to receive a very large donation from the Bob and Dolores Hope Foundation for our Fund for Critical Financial Assistance, and that is for really a very inclusive population. It's military and veteran caregivers and family support members, including those who serve or did serve in the National Guard and Reserve. The caregiver, just to be very clear, does not need to be enrolled in the VA's program of comprehensive assistance in order to be eligible for any of our programs, including the financial assistance. And then we also wanted to recognize that survivors have often served in a caregiving role and want to be able to support them, as they sometimes can experience that financial cliff that would happen when a veteran may pass away or service member may pass away. Just to be clear, the applicant must be the caregiver or family support member. A veteran or service member who may apply, we will work with them to either identify an eligible family member or someone, or redirect them to appropriate resources, many of whom are on here today. Next slide, please. And then just to round out the conversation, again, those mental wellness groups, we also, as you complete that intake form that's available on the previous slide, that resource navigation to help, as we know, there are a lot of resources out there and they're very difficult to navigate quite often, both inside VA, DoD, as well as a lot of the nonprofit resources that are available. And we want to make sure we're helping you get in touch with those. So in addition to the emergency financial relief, we will connect you both to our own services as well as those in the community and within the VA or DoD as well. And then lastly, from a mental wellness perspective, we also have a Hidden Heroes, which is the term we offer to caregivers, caregiver community that is a virtual online peer support group that is available to share resources, information, support, and knowledge about caring for individuals who may be experiencing any range of disability, illness, or wounds. And you can see the QR codes there that can get you in touch with those particular resources. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you, Blue Star and White Oak, for bringing us all together.
Thanks so much, Meredith. So most of the resources, in fact, all of them that we've talked about so far, are those that we could find that had the most national reach. But obviously, there are going to be a ton of resources available that are more localized to your specific community. And that's why I'm very excited to have Jessa Ford today. She's the executive director of CODA Support Foundation, and they've got some great resources available for you as well.
Hi, Jenny. Thank you for that. And thank you, Meredith. Elizabeth Dole is one of our longstanding partners. So really excited to see them on this call, and was going to bring that up if you weren't here today. So we have a lot of resources, like Jenny mentioned, about 6,500 or so in our Patriot Link community-based resource database. That is the first place that I would send all of you if you are looking for resources that are local to you. If you want to go to the next slide. In general, or sorry, you can skip this one. In general, our organization focuses on a couple of things. Patriot Link really is where you're going to find vetted resources. So We're not going to send you to dead links. You're going to find resources that are actually available and open and out there. They focus on anything from housing to financial assistance, employment, mental health, food assistance, really anything that folks could be looking for, you will most likely find it in this area, anything up to service animals. And it really covers the entire veteran and military community. We provide resources for service members, veterans, caregivers, families, surviving families, pretty much everybody in the ecosystem. There are some resources for you on Patriot Link. If you want to go to the next slide. We also have case coordination. This basically is for the folks that need an extra hand. I know several of the folks in the webinar chat today have mentioned that their questions or the situations that they're dealing with are a little bit more complex. This is where our case coordination steps in. It is very personalized support. So if you are looking for some detailed one-on-one assistance and you really need expert care coordinators, our case managers, our resource navigators are a great place to start. You can get access to this by going to our website, codasupport.org, and clicking on case coordination. The application there is to apply is there. If you want to go to the next slide. Patriot Link is where I was telling you before. I think a lot of your resources are going to be found here. In fact, we have 886 resources for emergency financial assistance alone. Very similar for emergency food assistance. So please go on there, visit Patriot Link. Please tell your friends about it. We are here to help, and we want to help. We have been helping a lot over the last couple of days. It's been very busy, but we are here for you. So please get in contact with us if you need to. Next slide.
Oh, sorry.
So real quick, also, why I have you on here, I know a lot of you are advocates as well for your communities. We also accept new resources. So if there's something on there that isn't there, or you offer a resource that isn't there, you found, I saw someone in the webinar chat saying Cabana helps them. See if Cabana is on our site. If not, please put it on our site. We would be happy to work with them to get their resources available as well. And then finally, our referrals. If you are looking, or if you are working with folks that are looking for help, it looks like several of you might be a case manager or case coordinator that are on the call via the webinar chat. This is the way you can do referrals through our system as well. So please feel free to use it in multiple ways. There's lots of resources on there for you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jessa. And we know we have a lot of folks here today who are new to Blue Star Families, and we, in addition to hosting webinars and working with our White Oak Collaborative partners, are doing a ton for our 380,000 members. So on that note, I am very delighted to introduce you today to Sabrina Huda.
Jenny, thank you so much for letting me come today to represent Blue Star, and especially on a group of such incredible panelists. I just wanted to say this has been so sobering. I am actually a civilian family, and I know everyone joining today and so many people who I hope will be able to use this webinar and the recording as these resources. Just a thank you from families like mine for everything you do, especially during such challenging times. I really wanted to highlight two incredible resources. We have a wealth of resources, but Jenny said I can only talk for 2 minutes or 3. The main one, the first one, is really our Blue Star neighborhood. You see it right here. There's a QR code. This is our digital Blue Star neighborhood. It is the nation's largest online community exclusively for military connected families, as well as civilians like mine who want to support our military connected families. It's a virtual place with access to trusted resources where you can connect, find virtual resources, local events. You can scan the QR code right here and request access to join. It is a secure system, so it just takes a little extra step. But once you're in, you will have instant access to all of these resources, events, and community programs. What those include, membership alone includes free perks to things that can really help families thrive, especially in moments like now. There's free subscriptions to things like Thrive Market, Masterclass, discounts and exclusive deals to things like Fuel the Homefront and Cooking Series and Bright Horizons Early Education and partnerships like T-Mobile. Plus, in the Resource Center, you'll also find so much more to support families on financial stability, career planning, and so on. It's just a hub of resources. So I really encourage everyone who aren't already members to please join. Next slide. And beyond the digital neighborhood, we also have our chapters and outposts. I have the wonderful honor of working with our local chapters. We have 13 chapters across the nation. We are growing to so much more in the next 3 years. And the chapters are really the heartbeat of Blue Star families. They are providing consistent, high quality programming, resources, support. They're the first line in many cases when a family moves into a new community and they don't know where to start. Our chapter is there to help guide them and support them and connect them. They put on local events every month designed to really foster a sense of welcoming and belonging. And then our outposts, which are also in addition to our chapters, are nonprofit organizations that we partner with, and they host Blue Star programming and opportunities like our chapters in additional communities, so thereby really expanding our efforts and impact even further. I just wanted to share last week, we had our first ever chapter summit and it was wonderful. Jenny was there and it was 2.5 days of session after session after session. It was all about learning and how do we support our families? How do we do better? And I can't tell you how distracted everyone was during those sessions, in between those 15-minute breaks, because what they were doing, our chapters were organizing events that were not even on their calendar, right? Pop-up food distributions, local events, partnering with community organizations. How can we support our families now more than ever? This month alone, we have 12 events happening across our chapters because of the government shutdown. A lot of them are really around food distribution and resources and other essential resources. So these are the kind of things that our team is doing around the clock, and they're really here to help. Next slide, please. What I thought would be really helpful, and please just take a quick picture of this slide. All of this information is in our neighborhood, but here you have direct contact emails for each of our active chapters as well as of our outposts. If you have any questions, if you want to know how to get into the neighborhood or just what they have available, you can always send a quick email here and our chapter team will respond. We just want you to know that we are working really hard and we are, just so committed to making sure that all families really feel supported during this shutdown. That's all I have, Jenny. Thanks.
Sabrina, thanks so much. And I just want to give a huge thank you to our panelists who did get through this pretty quickly, and we will have a chance for Q&A, I think. I want to leave this slide up for 1 second, Sierra, before we take it down. Our colleagues over at the Office of Military Community and Family Policy and Military One Source really wanted to be here today, but as you can imagine, many of them are furloughed. And so those who remain are working over and above to try and help you out. They asked me to talk about 2 different things. One, Military One Source is up and running. It is going. There are all the same resources that were there are there now. Please use it to the extent that you can. Also, if you have not heard, there is a 0% Star Card program. So if you have a Star Card, and also if you're a new applicant, your commissary purchases throughout the month of October will have 0% interest on them. So that's going to hopefully be really, really helpful from a food access standpoint as well. So please get groceries at the commissary and stay tuned, hopefully, for more information there. And if you have any questions about that, We, again, are going to be sending out the slides after this. We will be sending out kind of the official information about that Star Card program as well. So on that note, I'm going to ask my team to take down the slides real quick. I think we have time for just a couple of quick questions. If we can spotlight folks. There are two themes that I'm really seeing come through. And again, we won't be able to get to all the questions in the chat, but there are two big things. One is National Guard and Reserve resources. I want to share that we will share the National Guard Relief Organization as well as part of the follow-up here. And the second, so if anybody on the call can talk to that and what programs are or not eligible there. And then second, I've seen some questions around what to do. Let me make sure I get the phrasing of some of this right. What to do if people are having backlogs or challenges getting chain of command approval. So if I'm going to be quiet. If you know the answer to either of those questions, just come off mute and please share.
Hey, Jenny, this is Chris from Air Force Aid Society. So from command involvement, we do not require command involvement in our application process. So there's nothing that's coordinated through the command. So for airmen and guardians and families, there shouldn't be a delay in our application process.
Thanks so much. I might just go around the horn real quick with our relief societies. Dawn?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. We do not have an online portal, so we've got people at our 52 offices around the globe. And so clients can come in for assistance there. And again, we're confidential. We don't get the commands involved, so that's not an issue.
Brandon?
Yes. We are re-messaging across each one of our Army garrisons on chain of command responsibilities again, and also response letters back, automatic emails back to our soldiers that are applying. Get with your chain of command. We've got confirmation that the system is working. So just and we're seeing that improve every hour of the day.
And Valerie?
Hi, yes. As far as command approval, our applications are done online, and we have what are called reps that are associated with local commands. And reps can approve up to a certain amount just in-house there. If it needs additional approval, it just goes directly up to CGMA, and we'll do the approvals there. But for this shutdown, the reps have signature approval on at least everything up to BAH, 1 month's BAH for our teams.
Thank you. Then I'm going to go around the horn and just go through my screen. If you've got any programs available for National Guard or Reserve, if you could give a quick yes or no, and then I'm going to direct folks to the website for additional eligibility information there. So Sarah, I'm going to start with you here at the top of my screen.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So for Guard and Reservists, even if they are not activated, we have our Career Assistance Program loan that is available to them.
Wonderful, thank you. Brandon?
Jenny, ours are worked by exception right now. Again, we're predominant of our focus is on the active duty retired for this time. Again, we're trying to expand our services, but it's by exception now.
Wonderful, thank you. Mike?
Yeah, we continue to provide care for National Guard and Reserve, and then again, as I indicated before, if they can't afford the care, we'll ask you about your insurance. But if you can't afford the care, we can waive all the fees or co-pays also. And as you indicated, Jenny, we understand the military experience. That's all we see, our military clients. So we understand the challenges not only of active duty but the Guard and Reserve.
Thank you, Valerie.
Yes, of course, we serve the Coast Guard Reserve.
JJ?
Yeah, so our loan program is dependent on having a federal paycheck. But however, all of our payment relief programs are available to Guard Reserve the entire year. So,
can I ask you a clarifying question, JJ? Is that when you say relying on a federal paycheck? So do you also support federal employees who are furloughed right now?
that's correct. Yep.
Great, thank you. It was another question that came through. All right, Sabrina.
Sorry, getting off mute. Absolutely. All of our resources, everything we have to offer, all of our local events open to all military connected, definitely Guard and Reserve.
Thank you. Jessa,
Yep, absolutely.
Meredith.
Yes, all Guard and Reserve, regardless of activation status, and any caregivers or family support members included in that for the purposes of emergency financial assistance, the financial wellness programs, and as well as our other wellness programs and mental wellness.
Dawn.
I thank you. We support reservists who are on active duty orders for 30 days or more.
Chris.
We do support Guard and Reserve. There may be some nuances depending on activation status, and we just may require additional documentation.
Amy.
Yes, we support reservists and Guard.
Gracie.
Yes, we also support, support reservists and Guard. I would encourage you to look at our critical financial assistance for more information. And especially during this time, we are going to step in and kind of streamline some processes and help out a little bit more.
Wonderful. I just thank all of you for being here today. Thank you for giving us 2 extra minutes at round robin, a little longer than I thought it might, but thank you for being here. I am going to take all the questions here from the chat today and try and get answers to you. I see questions about, food assistance. There's some answers here. We did start out with Armed Services Y as well. So slides again will be emailed out, all the resources there. And then there's some additional resource hubs. We've got Code of Support, Military One Source, and Blue Star Families that are all kind of aggregating different elements as well. So hopefully that'll help equip you and those you're helping. So stay in touch. We will plan, if this shutdown continues, we will plan another town hall style event and look forward to, well, hopefully I don't have to see all of you again, but in the event that I do, I'm glad you're here and pick up the phone. So thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Thanks for honchoing this. This is a great resource.
All right, thanks.